Hello my friends, it's MetaVerse Explorer. I'm back just with a very small video with a very small update, because I think this update that has come out is not game breaking, not game changing, right? It's not crazy, but it will affect some of the decisions you're going to make in Sage from now on, and maybe might end up purchasing the new ship that the team are coming out with. So I'm going to discuss all that, but first off, take a look at this gorgeous Thimble Mamba X video. I don't know why it's so jittery. It would be nice if it was a little bit cleaner, but I love it. I love working this. It's a work in progress, of course. I just love seeing this UE5 stuff. So yeah, that's the video the team brought out, as well as the second video as well of a second ship. Just look at the nice animation that we get. Amazing, amazing. That's going to be its liftoff. Now, this is, of course, a small video about Sage. I'm going to be talking you through about the new patch notes that have come out. And here we are. Let's have a look at Dom's patch notes. So make sure, first off, you are in the new version of the game, okay? When you log in, look on the bottom right-hand side corner. I'm going to log in here so you can actually see. When you log in, make sure it does say 0.303, okay? Let me show you here. Right there. I'm sure you can see that. 303. Always make sure you have the latest patch. If you don't, maybe you might have to work on clearing your cache and then come back and reload everything, get all the cookies straight up again. Now, the patch notes, let's see what he says. Data runners no longer consume toolkits when scanning. That is a huge deal, right? That is a huge deal, okay? The only data runner we have so far is the Opal Visa's Opod, right? That's the only data runner. And you keep reading, he's going to give us another one very soon. So, what does that mean? SDUs are one of the biggest bottlenecks to actually crafting anything, right? Because it does take a lot of time. There's a global cap. There's no cap on asteroids. There's no cap on resources. So you just go out, collect it, bring it back. SDUs, you have to spend a whole bunch of toolkits, 100 toolkits per 10 SDUs found, right? At least that's the base. So it's a big bottle cap, right? It's a whatever the word is, middle cap, whatever. You know what I mean. So with this is going to open up a whole lot of gameplay styles of people who just have fleets of data runners, actually giving them some utility, right? Some data runners to go out and actually scan indefinitely until the cargo capacity is full, and then they come back to the CSS. That means, I think, we'll be hitting the cap literally every single time now, and these ships are going to fly off the shelf. Now, speaking of that, I'm going to come to those ships later, but let's look at the other updates for you. The Thimble Airbike and the CSS Tier 1 recipes have more resource-intensive redemption recipe options. What does that mean? I think they've tripled the amount of resources you need to craft stuff, okay? And I'm going to bring it up, and so you'll be able to see that as well. Updated the scanning cooldowns to be based on heat sink manufacturer, spec bonus, and tier. So before, the scanning cooldowns used to be like 50 or 60 seconds each. It was just really on average that sort of time. So now they're saying they're actually going to be changing it to the heat sink, spec, and bonus. Where can you find all that info? It's going to be in the official staratlas wiki lore page, where they have all the ship specs and bonuses, right? Updated the toolkit consumption based scanning to be based on scanner manufacturer, spec bonus, and tier. So it's no longer toolkit is no longer based on crew. No, it's no longer based on the ship size. I think that's correct. It's not based on the ship size anymore, but it's based on the scanning manufacturer, spec bonus, and tier. And of course, the manufacturer for the Visa's Opod is the Visas, and that may have a 0 toolkit consumption now. It's pretty crazy. And lastly, they reduced the R9 mining rates. These are some economic updates, right? So reducing the mining rates means that people are going to have less resources in the coming into the economy, right? At the same time, also tripling the amount of resources needed to go and craft a ship. So they're really trying to balance this economy. They've gone like this, okay? We were like this, now they've done this. Does that make sense, right? They've cut the supply and has also increased the demand. So that they are working, they're pulling those levers, and this is what the game is all about, right? We knew they were going to do this. Now, lastly, they did release some extra stuff here at the bottom. Let's see what they said. The release of our second data runner ship, the Opal Rayam. Woot woot! Let's go and take a look at the Opal Rayam. But before we do that, this is what the new resources are for a Thimble Airbike. And look, I don't remember what they were before, and I'm sure some spreadsheet out there already has it, right? But I do think, just looking at it, it has increased. I don't remember a power source being 11k. I crafted one before, I hope you guys remember. I don't think it was 11k, it was like 6k or something like that. I don't remember 71,000 copper wire, no. The survey data units were 600, give or take, or like 550 or something like that. Iron 39. So I think they have increased it, if I'm not wrong. And I don't see a second recipe for a Thimble air bike. So I think that's it. They had to replenish it because people have crafted all of them before. You guys remember. I think people will be going for the Max Hogs next. But let's see if they're going to let the Opal Rayam be craftable. So just going very quickly, right? I wanted to see, because they said toolkits from the scanners, toolkits from the data runners no longer are consumed when you scan. So I wanted to see what's happening with the current data runner we have on the market, because I'm sure people will be like, oh great, I'm going to capitalize on that. I'm quick, I saw this first, I'm going to go and buy one. So I thought I'd look at the market info, and look, we can actually see people did go out and had a huge rush to go and buy. Let me take myself away. People had a huge rush to go and buy. Look at the previous volumes. October 7, 7, 8, 9, 9, 13, 16, 16, 17, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. So of course we had some people capitalize right now on this news. Who are they? You can go and look at the addresses, but someone sold one for $458. Someone bought one for $495, bought one for $500, and then they bought, look at that, look at the difference between these two. Someone bought one order for $550 and then bought the second one for $800. So someone really, really wanted these Opal Visas Opods to go and scan without accruing any toolkit costs. It's pretty impressive, okay? Now the next thing, let's look at that. Like, this is the current market. 780 is the last one, and someone still wants to buy it for 385. And you can see this is 2 seconds ago and 15 minutes ago. So people are playing the market at the moment. Now, with that being said, I want to take a look at the new ship they're going to be releasing, which is the release of the second data runner, the Opal Rayam. Let's go ahead to the GAL Phase 2 sheet. Let's see what we have here. Now, I'm going to type in Ray, and we're going to come here. It's, of course, a small ship. So it's going to be, let me zoom in so you can see. It's a small ship. It'll be between $15 and 1.2K. Now, it is, I don't think it matters whereabouts in this kind of, in this list that it is. The Thimble Airbike is the cheapest at the $15 mark. We haven't seen the Ship It, we haven't seen the Shark, we haven't seen Armor. R6 is probably one of the more expensive ones, as well as the MedTech. So I think it goes from really small all the way to larger small, if you know what I mean. So the Opal Rayam is the small data runner, and there are no other data runners in this entire thing, right? Oh no, we'd have one more, the Thimble BIOS Ranger. Oh, I wonder, why don't they release... Oh, maybe we can craft the BIOS Ranger because it's a BIOS ship. It's a Thimble ship. And as you can see here, we can craft a whole bunch of BIOS stuff already. Thimble. Oh, we can craft Thimble stuff, not BIOS stuff. Oh, maybe that's a little surprise they'll give us. You can craft the medium Thimble BIOS Ranger. I don't think they'll let us do that because that's too crazy to have a medium ship that people can craft. So let's go back to the Rayam. Let's see how much. I think, like, let's compare it to some of the other small ships that we have, right? The Calico MedTech is like $200. The Thimble BIOS Europe is like $100 so far, but they started at $900, right? Opal Rainbow Chi was $999. So I'm thinking it'll be around the same range as the Rainbow Chi. It'll have a small premium because of its utility, so I think it'll be definitely above $1,000. Will those ships fly off the shelf? Why would you buy a small data scanner for $900 when you can buy the next best thing, which is a slightly larger data runner? Let's go to the marketplace for $780. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that's mispricing it at the moment. So these guys are thinking that an Opal Visas Opod, which is a higher tier ship, is going to be worth less than a Opal Rayam. Oh, no, I don't think so. This origination price is 1.5K. The next one will be maybe 900, maybe a 1K, give or take. Maybe 900, 800, maybe. So these guys are playing gamble. If you want, you can go buy the ship and play the game if you want, you know. Now, lastly, he did share at the bottom some little stats updates on the new sheet that he has. So I wanted to show you that as well. Let me zoom all the way into 200 so we can go and see. Let me take myself away because it's much easier. Now, we have the Rainbow Chi here, but that's not what I want. I want the Opal Rayam, number 26. Let's go all the way there. Data runner. It's class 3. Okay, it's the last one before you get to the next one. Awesome. I don't know if that matters for anything. Cargo capacity isn't too bad in itself, 5.6k. It's not the highest because we have the Armstrong miner having the highest cargo, as well as the Pierce R6 as well having a huge cargo. But it is bigger than the average. 4k, 3k, 3k, 4k, 3k, 3k. So it's actually got 5.6k. So not bad for cargo capacity, right? Now we can look at each individual stat, but we don't really care for that. Let's go all the way to the end. Ooh, what's a 0 here? What's a 0? Ammo mining. Ooh, what? It has a 0 cost of ammo mining. Why? Wait. What? Why? That makes no sense. How come? Ammo. 0 cost. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. That's why, you idiot. I should be looking at 26, which is what I've highlighted. Yeah, of course, 0 cost of mining for ammo is nothing for the imps, of course. Come on. Makes sense. Now let's keep going. The other 0 I did see, which is the important thing that people want to see, is this one right here. And of course, that is the toolkit and scanning cost. And you can see it is a 0. Everything else does have a value. This is what people may be playing on. And I don't think there's no other 0 in here apart from, there we go, that's the Visas OPOD. There we go, that's the next data runner. So yeah, you know, there's no other 0 I could see just in case another ship was coming up, but there's nothing. Yeah, very interesting, right? So yeah, you can compare it to some of these other ships. I don't think there's going to be much difference. I don't think people will be racing out to go and buy it because people are already happy and have like 10 Fimble air bikes that can go and scan, and I don't mind the cost. It's all a calculation. It's the cost of the toolkits and how much you get, what's the return on interest, and can you spend $700, $800 on a new ship? Of course, it'll be less because of the referral fees and everything. Yeah. Now lastly, I wanted to take a look at some of the stats to see the reduction in the mining, to see how that's going to affect the economy. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the charts that I wanted, right, in the AFIA flipside chart. So I just messed around a little bit. I won't take much long here, but you can see the kind of the differences in the mining of what's happening in these factions. Oni has a 5.4 billion in mining units, right, while Mud has 57, and you can see Oyster is actually losing at the moment, 37, nearly 38 billion in mining units, right? Yeah, so you can see some of the total per faction of units, right, of things being mined. And I want to see very soon if we're going to have a small plateau or at least a decrease in the how crazy it's going up, right? Because they have reduced the mining emissions. We don't know how much they've reduced the mining emissions. I don't have that info right now, but I assume it'll be more than 10% for it to be actually any kind of significant impact on the market. But you can see there is a small sharp increase here, especially for Mud. Maybe some new whales came on, but I'm expecting this to at least slow down and not go up as high. The last thing they want to do is for this to just keep going up and up and up and up and up and up to the right? Because then if the demand doesn't get satiated, we'll just have an influx and surplus of items in the market and everything's going to be worthless, and then Staratlas is dead because no one cares if everything's worthless, right? Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of stuff we can look in here. I'm a fan of Limonite myself. I want to go and mine my faction crystal. And let's take a look as well. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. There are some people that are mining a whole bunch of stuff, right? Look at the people who are crafting right now. I want to watch these wallets to see if they actually do end up buying any free SDU scanning ships like the Visas OPOD. Look at this. In the last 24 hours, toolkits burnt $242,000. SDU collected is $26,000 only. So that's only an 11% rate, which is pretty bad for a whale who's using a lot of stuff, right? And then you go up to the second wallets, they have like a 22 and 24% success rate, which is pretty good. Look at this guy. He's scanned and gotten 30,000 SDUs in a 24-hour period. That is crazy. Look how many toolkits he's used. And look at total, how many he's collected, 500k. That's a lot, man. That's a lot of SDUs. I wonder what these guys are doing with it. They're probably going to be collecting all of the extra ships, all of the stuff they can, and then later on they'll just flood the market if they want to. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. Anyway, small video. I just wanted to update you on the change in the scanning. I myself, I'm not sure if I'll be buying one of the new ships. It depends. You can play it this way, right? Go and scan or do get some crafting resources and go and sell it on the market. Make a little bit of money. Play some arbitrage games. Go and craft, and then go and buy the ship from the proceeds. That's what the whole game is about, all right? Just depends on if you can do that. If you got the time. I don't, unfortunately. I want to play the UE5 game. I want to play UE5 and I want to play the Play Canvas game. All right, I'm going to leave you and love you. As I said, small video. Ciao, guys. I'll catch you later.